finally back with an arena game. It has taken me a lot of time to manage to get into another one for some reason. In several weeks, I haven't been able to find one. Looks like we're on revised base here, the random maps. And I am picking the first seed. So, two straight big buildings events early with the big building tile in the game. Like, this always suggests swarmlings, but, you know, we're trying to stay away from that a little bit. Round 4 digs means it could be an interesting swarmlings game, I guess. All these workers on the track and stuff. But, 2 air rewards early, plus, like, this kind of favorable map. I want to see if Orin can make any noise here. At the table, we have 2 players that I don't recognize, and we also have Klebo, who I think I have almost never beaten. This is a new alt account, so I'm sure I have no record against it for Klebo. His original account, I had a miserable record against. Just adjusting our webcam here. We have Fakirs in the game with both ship tiles. So the 2 ship tiles are theoretically bad for Fakirs because these are just 2 tiles that are just 3 power that benefit other players but not the Fakirs themselves. However, I do think it's a good track for them. Air rewards and fire rewards are the rewards that you do want to see. And late TPs is good if you can get your dwellings out. There's no dwelling round specifically. Cultists, God, that's disgusting. I should have just put in halflings to avoid cultists. I actually haven't played with or against cultists in quite a while. I don't like the faction very much, and I have found myself liking halflings more. And I think that just the people that I generally play with have also kind of shifted away from wanting to play cultists. But it doesn't mean that I can just ignore them here. Cultists are still very strong. They're going to start E6, F6, F5 probably. They start next to Fakirs and next to Orin, so are in the most favorable leech position currently, even if, especially if red gets added or gray gets added, or even black. Basically any color except blue is going to put cultists in by far the catbird seat in terms of leech positioning. And in addition to that, of course, cultists benefit extra from being in the center because they have more opponents who can accept their leech. Now, the thing is that it can be a little tricky to get this air reward, but you probably just take air 2 for cultists if you really want to hit this. You're almost certainly going to get 2 steps. Arguably more relevant than the air and fire rewards for it's mermaids. Okay, that makes it easy. I think, so just a quick look at why I picked mermaids, almost without a second thought. You have yellow in the game. This is revised base, and mermaids, in my opinion, are just the strongest faction on this map by a long shot. And if yellow is in the game, that's even more so. Green is in the game, which is slightly annoying, but green shouldn't be able to interfere. You don't have the B5 C3 issue, or the C4 is green on base, so that helps to stymie mermaids a little bit if green is in the game, because they can just temp ship over to C3 right away if you don't block temp ship. But here you're in the 4th seat, and you're not obligated to take temp ship because, yeah, this situation is just pretty nice. Orin can't really screw you by coming on to C3 unless they start here, which is bad for them. So let's put them down 5 points just to speed up this auction a little. 2 of the players went on cultists and fakirs. I think that I do kind of want to see what their ratings are. All right, the cultist game plan, you have 1 dig for 2 hexes here. That's always strong. you have two neighbors because Orin are likely to start here. Uh, and the ship tile is in the game as well. I'm going to put one more on mermaids, but I think that there's definitely play for cultists here because you have a pretty uncontested town coming through this area here. The ship tile is also quite good for cultists. They just generally like to hit browns via shipping. Though I guess revised base is a little trickier for that, huh? Like this brown down here doesn't help. You can't ship to it without a spade. You can get this and then you can ship here. Yeah, I don't love cultists here. I think that they have good opportunities to build really tall early. That's probably like the best thing that you can do as cultists here. Could fakirs possibly be better than cultists? I think that the answer to that is probably no. I don't think that you can really afford to build your stronghold. Yeah, I just don't see you being able to afford to build your stronghold as fakirs. I think you probably start e5, e8 for favorable leech positions. I also think that Orin have some decent play, but now that I'm thinking about it, unless they open with a stronghold, they're not actually going to be able to hit this air spade. They would need to, well, okay, so probably as Orin, you might buy a priest with your first action. That can get you the air spade, and it gets you onto the air track. There's no real obligation to open with a stronghold or to take air 2. You can just take earth 1 or... I mean, air 2 is still a good favor. Don't get me wrong. The pass tiles are probably going to go spade. It's probably the spade here. Followed by either big building or worker power. Followed by the other one of big building worker power, which means that you're getting temp ship as Orin, which makes b5 potentially a nice starting spot instead of e9. Now I know that this isn't like a leech spot, but with temp ship, like you can get g3 and a11. Then you can put a spade onto f4 like a little later, and then try to make this bridge town. Your issue is getting this neighbor here. I know that fakirs eventually want to get here, but they might not prioritize this hex. And mermaids are probably not going to give you this neighbor. Cultists are never getting up here. It's kind of tricky. I will put one more on mermaids. After that, I'm willing to consider fakirs, I think. Actually, no. I think cultists have to be better than fakirs. They just kind of have to be. All right, can you do a tall Orin game? Let's see if that's possible. Is it possible for us to go like air 2 or kind of like a water 1, air 1 heavy Orin game here? We don't need like all of our dwellings out. There are rewards for coins, but they're kind of late. There's only one good coin tile in the game. Even the dwelling tile and the 4 coins tile are missing. Along with the priest, of course, which is a good reason to open with a temple, I think, as Orin. Yeah, I think buying a priest as Orin, followed by sending the priest to air, and then templing for air 2 is a pretty solid plan for Orin here. But I'm pretty lost in this color wheel on this map with these factions, unfortunately. The Fakir's game plan, I guess if you get... well, the awkward part for Fakirs is that you probably want to start e5, which means that you're not on d3, which actually means that you don't have a great place to put your initial spades. You need to start getting like your priests in order to start doing this stuff here. But I am slightly interested. No, I don't think I'm that interested in Fakirs. I think that this is probably my last bit on Fakirs. I think that Orin have a slightly cooler game plan. The Orin game plan has to involve pretty aggressive shipping, I think. So you open with temp ship, you start these 2 hexes, and then you build here. Cultists are not happy being alone here. They would love to be able to like get this neighbor, and then you send your priests off. You make your stronghold, and then finally later you try to get back on temp ship or this guy, advance your ships, and then come down to E9. You have 2 towns. This town should be uncontested, and then this town should be uncontested. So I think I'm willing to put mermaids down to like 26, cultists down to like, I guess cultists do have to be a bit better than this. Hopefully this player will bid on cultists. So I think that if it goes cultists, mermaids, then I'll try out Orin. That's our plan currently. Yeah, so basically I think that we're going with a no sanctuary game for Orin. We're going to temple for an economic favor, maybe fire 1, because this game looks worker rich and coin tight early on. Plus we're not building many TPs until late. Like later on we'll get these, but then hopefully we'll have our dwellings spread out at that point. For mermaids, we just take the spade. We'll temple for, like the cult rewards, I guess, are one area where the mermaids aren't that great. But I think that we might just be templing for Earth 1 if we get mermaids. Our priests will go to ship advances or onto the Earth track just for the coins. We'll want to win water, and then we can just send priests to Earth for coins later. But I think that Earth 1 is a reasonable take here. I do want to see cultists drop another point. And I did put Orin in the game. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bid 1 on cultists, and then, and if this doesn't work out, and if Clabo still wants cultists, then I'm getting Orin. I don't really want cultists, but I'm willing to play them at this price. It's probably like a single dig type of cultist game opening. Get out some dwellings and temple for fire 1, or air 2, I guess, because you want to get those air rewards. And then I would possibly just sanctuary for Earth 1. It's kind of ugly to do that, but I would consider sanctuarying for Earth 1 in like this round or something, and then trying to get these hexes here, and then wait for Orin over here. I probably should have just gone for Orin. I feel I'm not going to feel good if I don't get. Yeah, I actually do want Orin here. So hopefully I do get them. Double temple cultists aren't an option. Double temple cultists are technically an option. However, I anticipate if I'm Orin, then I'm starting on B5, which means that double temple cultists will be pretty awkward. If Fakirs start on G4, then yeah, you do get double temple cultists. But I think that Fakirs probably want to start E8 because cultists might otherwise beat them to E8 and then they lose their connection. We have the settings we want. Cool. Namu is a strong player. Cataphractos is also a strong player here. Okay. Cool. We are playing against Clabo, and Clabo is known to make some like unconventional plays. Clabo is also playing mermaids, where you could play like pretty disrupt. Like he's my color neighbor, so he could play very disruptively to me by placing h4 or something. D5 we did expect. The classic place is to place e4 here, but an h4 placement is possible for mermaids and is extremely disruptive to Orin. But he does go e4, which is good news for me, I think. So the game plan of temp shipping is still in play. We are going to place b5 in hopes of getting that temp ship. It also gives us a 1 dig for 2 hexes option. And then like maybe a double dig on either a12 or c4, or actually probably a9. A9 is probably a good spot to double dig late in the game. Oh man, this is weird, and I don't like it very much. I mean, this does get Fakirs their town earlier, but I think that Fakir should have been on e8 or g4 because they lost one of their hops. Mermaids here look strong. Yeah, I mean, that's why mermaids are bid the lowest, right? Mermaids are a very strong faction. Fakirs here should be taking the 2 workers. I really hope that I'm correct that they're going to do that. This long think is scaring me here. One fun fact is that everyone wound up on the faction they bid on, so that's cool. Fakirs are considering taking a power tile so that they can single dig. I think that that's what's happening, but I think that the clear preferable move is just to open double temple for Fakirs here. I think that that seems clearly better than whatever else they're pondering right now. And I do hope that they play a little faster than this going forward. Like, surely they anticipated this as a possibility. They take the coins. Okay, so they're going to pass. They're going to have a very short round and then pass on to the 2 workers. I see. Well, that's fine. We're going to try to pass on to their coins tile. So I think that we mentioned buying the priest first, and I think that's still a good option. We just don't want any shenanigans to happen where we lose this air spade, which was part of our game plan. We could be seeing an Earth 1 rush. I don't care that much. Cultists are going to get to double dig, which is disgustingly good. They're going to get f3, g5. So they are going to get a second neighbor spot, which is cool. Cultists go up the air track. Clay was deciding whether d5 or e4 is a better upgrade spot, I think. I don't think that he actually wants a power action yet. I would probably... I mean, the question is, when are you making your towns, right? This town over here is probably a sanctuary town for mermaids. So this seems like a good place to upgrade your first temple. Especially if you think that you might sanctuary for like Earth 1 or Water 1 here. Like generally, as mermaids on this map, you're going to end this game with like maybe 2 temples still on your board, which means that you're going to build 2 temples throughout this game. One of them is going to go on like this area here, likely, but The question is, does that have to be the first one? As a very biased player, obviously I think that upgrading D5 is good for mermaids here. We don't know if that's his evaluation. He decides to upgrade here. That's fine. We are color neighbor rivals, so like that seems fine. I think that I can upgrade here without fear of a 5-power priest to heir. That would really suck, but I think I have to kind of risk that. And if someone does 5-power priest to heir, then at least I have heir 2 in my pocket as an option. But this is a little less leech than I expected, unfortunately. Fakirs are just rushing Earth 1 and then passing on to 2 workers. Klebo is being offered the double dig. If he doesn't take it, then Fakirs are going to get it. Though Fakirs can't actually use it. They might just take F3 if they get double dig. Oh, they take Earth 1. Okay. So I wonder if Fakirs would just take F3 here. Putting the priest to heir to ensure my cult spade. Then I can, since I have lost Earth 1, I can just safely build G3 and A11 without worrying too much. There's 0 chance that I get double dig next round. Yeah, I think Fakir's... Well, that seems... I have nothing to say about that one. Klebo probably takes the coins and then builds F2, H2. So that would be 3 actions left for mermaids. Cultists probably double spade here. 3 actions for cultists. And I have 3 actions. So that could mean that I am going to pass on to the spade, which would be pretty sick. I expect Klebo to take coins here. So Klebo's having a think. Klebo might be considering trying to speed this game up and then go F3, H2. But it's not clear what pass tile he would want in that case. So I think that he takes workers. That's shocking to me that he wanted workers instead of coins there. Or instead of coins, yeah. He might be thinking that he might be thinking that he's getting the coins anyway because Fakirs are looking like they're double templing. Or Fakirs should just pass, probably, honestly. What the hell is going on here? I do not like this from Fakirs like one bit, but whatever. Wow, cultists are also making a TP here. I think that this is acceptable because cultists can just build like that, but I would decline this if I were Fakirs. I don't think that they will, but they probably should decline this because cultists have actually left themselves unable to get this air spade. They've been moving up the air track and they can't get this air spade. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. This is I think that was a blunder by cultists for sure. They rushed Earth 1 and went up the air track, and now they're getting screwed out of this air spade. You'll love to see it. I mean, like, cultists are still fine. They're cultists, so like they have 2 hexes that they can just build next round. They can temple for fire 1 if they want, like. But this, yeah, okay. This is like such a weird opening. Nothing is going how I expected right now. Cultists are going to get, or Fakirs are going to get the 2 workers. Cultists are going to get the 6 coins. And it looks like I'm going to get worker power. That seems underwhelming. Yeah, worker power is pretty underwhelming for me. So, Claybo is probably going to just snap off the coins here. If I get offered it, maybe I take the coins. But like, if Claybo temples here, then I'm probably just taking coins. How are the power actions going to go next round? Like, you would think that Fakir should want the double spade next round, but they have been very unpredictable. Oh, D4 looks really good for Fakirs to hop to, huh? Fakir should want to hop onto D4 so that they have access to E8 next round. Oh, Fakirs can't afford the double spade, can they? Mermaids are going to slow play so that I don't get this spade. That seems fine. They're also going to just wait so that I'm forced to make the call on whether or not I'm taking the coins now, which is also fine. I guess they're actually not building a temple, right? They might just be building 2 dwellings, which makes more sense generally. I know that we talked about Fire 1, but I think that it's Air 2 here. I suspect that I'm going to be able to get the coins next round, and I also want to be able to buy a bridge later. So it is a power-rich game and a relatively coin-tight one early, but I think that this will help me. It comes with good rewards. I just get the coins. Cool. And we said we were going to take worker power. So let's do it. Claybo is going to have very good tempo on getting the first town. It's not clear if he wants the 2 key town in this matchup. We'll find out. Fakir's open with workers, so maybe they're going to Sanctuary. I don't really know if they will. I can't predict anything right now. Might behoove me to buy the bridge. If I buy the bridge, then like that puts me in very good position here. The workers getting taken is underrated is like secretly quite bad for me because it means that I can't afford my stronghold this round. So the stronghold is happening here. That means that my first action is probably sending a priest off to a cult. And I think, he sends it off to that cult. Okay, so I'm going to send off to the fire cult then. Claybo probably takes a double spade here onto I2 C1. He's on temp ship. Actually, he probably puts priest to water first, right? Like he's maybe considering that I have access to the double spade. But I don't know that he cares that much right now. He only needs 1 spade, or I guess he wants C1 and I2. These guys. he does take the double spade. Spade c3, which I think is defensible. He wants to be able to get out here, but yeah, whatever. Oh my god, it's a stronghold for fakirs. Well, that's cool. This is very cool. I did not expect fakirs to be able to do this. I think that this puts fakirs in a very strong spot compared to where I thought they were. I have to admit, like, I did not see this game plan coming for fakirs. I think that I said that I didn't think that they would be able to afford it, and I was dead wrong. Okay, in that case, what do we need to do here? I think we just got to play our game. So that probably starts with building this hex. Cultists are just going to build g5, h7 here. I got some leech. Did expect that. All right, I think that we're going to buy the bridge and the spade here. The real question is actually, is it a power spade or is it just the single spade? I think I could probably get away with just single spading here, right? Or with a hard digging here. Claybo. I think Claybo is passing on to the spade. Oh, never mind. Fakirs are passing on to the spade. Wow, Fakirs are going to be able to get g4. That's... With these starting positions, getting g4 seems insane, but this has been a really, really good Fakirs game. Cultists build h7. Oh, the big building tile is open. I'm definitely passing on to that. So much for my other plans. So my plan here is to take the coins, hard dig this guy for my landscape, and then make my stronghold for water 1. Close out the air cult. Claybo's getting onto the 6 coins, which is awesome. The only downside about the way that I passed just now is that I could lose tempo in the 2-key town depending on like how aggressive cultists are here. But I have to risk that, I think. Fakirs are just going to fly. Hopefully they don't fly to g4 first, but they probably will. Fakirs could also fly to b4 and give you a neighbor. That'll happen at some point. It'll benefit us both, but We can't count on that for a while. Fakir's also hilariously could convert 2 priests to get water 1. But no, they just build here, this is really bad for me. Cultist getting this leech is really good for them. Could put them in contention for double spade. Don't mind getting that, though. I wouldn't be shocked to see Cultist Sanctuary for water 1 here. The bad thing is if they Sanctuary for fire 2, because they could do that. That would give them enough stuff for the double spade. And then fire 2, double spade, then they have tempo on that. I have 3 actions to go. Okay, we're going to find out what favor this is. Fakirs are first. Are they taking it? They take it. Yeah, it is fire 2. All right, so we're fucked. That's brutal. Hopefully they don't get the leech to double spade. That's all I can hope for here. No, because they're ahead of me in tempo anyway. Yeah. Yeah, we're fucked. Tall Orin, not bad. I mean, this is Tall Orin, right? Like, I'm not going to build that many dwellings this game. I don't even have Earth 1. There's no dwellings around. There's no dwellings scoring tile. But what I really needed here was I really needed the 2-key town, and I don't have that. I don't really understand this dig either. Like, this doesn't seem to help Fakirs all that much. But what I can do is I can hard dig this guy. This is a very, very expensive dig, but this kills Cultist Town. Wait, can I do that? Can I do this? I think that if I'm winning this game, it has to be... The only way I'm ever winning this game is if I'm getting the 2-key town, right? I can kill Cultist Town by digging here. That would be 6 workers. I need 6 workers to finish up my... Yeah, I think I have to do it. Whew. All right. Fakirs gave me this opening, so I had to take it. Like, otherwise I never would have done that, but... Cultists are now 3 actions away from a town. They need G6, G7, and then a trading post. I mean, Claybo is like laughing his way to the bank right now. This fighting among Fakir's Cultists and Orin has just not impacted mermaids whatsoever. They've just been getting like a hilarious amount of leech. Claybo is also in position to get the both water 1 and this thing. I think that he should just pass on to this guy right now. This is a think from Claybo here. I think he has all the power right now. I think that if I were him, I would just pass on to this. Because he can easily secure water 1 next round. I completely underestimated this Fakir's player, obviously. Now, to be fair, this was a smart starting spot, and Mermaids helped him out a ton. Like, Mermaids did not have to do this. But, like, getting this Earth 1 and the Stronghold and not having your economy crippled is insane for Fakirs. I think that cultists are in a lot of trouble now. Yeah, Claybo just passes, which I think is the right move. He's going to open with coins, and then he can either go shipping heavy or dig heavy next round. Cultists are 2 moves away. I'm about to give them like a motherload of leech, which means that they actually could get a town this round, but I'm going to take the 2 key, which is obviously more important for me, so. What a wild sequence there with this dig. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Saying the translation is weird. I don't really understand the what he means there, but this is probably correct to decline. It's a lot of victory points to pay if you're converting that power into a worker, which is what you would have to do, I think. Yep, the power is declined. We're just going to see G7 built, maybe a priest to Earth or something. We're going to get an influx of power here, which is nice. Claybo's opening with coins. That means that this pass tile is very valuable. But cultists should beat me to it, which means that we need a different tile. Probably temp ship then. Yeah, cultists are just going to try to win the Earth track, which I think is fine. We're going to close out air. And I think we're going to send our priest to Earth. Yeah, the priest goes to Earth. If next round I might be able to buy myself like a power action by cultists should take. Oh, the 6 coins and the spade are both really good. Okay, cool. So we're in a very good spot there then. They take the spade, so I'm going to get the 6 coins. Nice. All right, so we could advance our ships here. That doesn't seem like a horrible idea. But I also think just getting up the Earth track is also good. This helps shore up our coin economy. We want lots of priests on the cults, as we said. We'll probably take c4 next round if we're offered double spade, but I think fakirs will probably get in the way of that. We could take this TP tile, but it doesn't really do anything for us. The dwellings tile lets us get onto e9, which is cool. We could advance ship one thing onto e9, but I think that just taking 6 points is good. We really hope that fakirs come here at some point, but it looks like they can afford to wait a really long time. I think that mermaids should just be snapping off the coins. They're considering double digging, but that doesn't make any sense to me. They have so many workers, they can hard dig easily. I think that mermaids should be able to secure both a coins action and the bridge this round. Oh, shit. Okay, well, this is bad. That's not good for me. That hurts fakirs also very slightly, but not a ton. I don't think there's any way I'm ever topping the Earth Cult here. So the other spade goes, which is not shocking. Fakirs are going to be able to get a town here, which is cool. Not this round, but it will happen. I really want B4 to get built, but knowing my luck, it probably won't. I need to figure out if I'm shipping, digging, what I'm doing. I think if I see mermaids advance their ship, then of course I'm just going to hard dig A10. That's certainly going to happen. I should probably give up on the Earth Cult. Yeah. Here's an 8-pointer for cultists. I think there is a world where I beat cultists up that track, but not right now. Also, I've been given the coins, which I didn't even realize was happening. So I think that this round is starting actually to look like it could be hard dig A10, take a priest, advance ships twice, and then build E9, I6. I don't think that fakirs are ever taking the priest power action here. Might also mean that I don't get onto any of the pass tiles, but I think that I can live with that. Clabo did make like a nice aggressive move, but I don't know that this is great for him. This is who? This is Clabo. I can take this. I think I still have ways to make points. Here's water 1. Makes plenty of sense. I think the track that I want to close is the water track here. It is tricky because I do want to use my priests for shipping right now. But maybe it's just not correct to go shipping anymore. Oh, the priest does go. I really don't like that priest take from fakirs. I really don't like that one. But it does hurt me, for sure. Because I was thinking of double advancing ship this round. Cultists closed that cult. All right, so in that case, I'm not advancing ships. I'm probably not advancing digs. So, actually, advancing dig doesn't look like the worst thing here. It's like a good source of points. I do have more coins that I know what to do with. Priests are so limited, and I didn't expect them to be this limited. It's making things awkward for me, for my dreams of advancing stuff. It also is awkward for me trying to like get up these cults, which I really want to do. I need to top out one more cult this game. And I think it's going to be... I am closer on the fire cult if I get another 8-pointer. But am I getting that 8-pointer? There's also like the dig advance line, which lets me... I could 5-power priest to advance digs and then get A10 and A9 this round. I think I eventually need to advance my digs this game to make points. We'll see if Kleba advances his ship. Nope, he just built a dwelling, which means that I get to advance my digs again, and I can dig A10 very efficiently, which I love. Cultists are going to be able to get water 1 here. Yeah, let's up this. I'm not too concerned about cultists here because they don't have another town yet. If they, well, I guess they can get G1, right? But they don't have the shipping yet. They might bridge G1 and then get that. So I will need to do a little more work. But for now, we will do... we'll fight the fire cult because Kleba has nothing to do with his priests otherwise. Like, he's kind of committed to just... Kleba will put priests to water, but he currently has no town keys. Cultists are going to try to bridge and make this town, like, as soon as they can, so we might just have to let that happen. Kleba has no dwellings left, so I don't need to be worried about A10. I can advance my digs next. He has no dwellings and no shipping, so I think that he needs to make a TP here. Oh shit. Converting this to a... Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. Whatever. There's the TP upgrade. I would be super surprised to see Kleba advanced ships and build A10 here. I think I might just consider that not a possibility for simplicity's sake. Fakiris continue to furiously deny me leech, which surely is their prerogative. Claybo does put priest to water, as I suspected he might. He can buy the bridge now. So that means I need to fight very hard on this fire cult, which I might not be able to do. Cultists have like just slightly more tempo on it than I do. Ugh, man, that's brutal. Alright, Fakirs are finally over here. So we're just going to build this, and then we're going to build this, I think. Yeah, this is 3 workers. Then we'll build A10. Claybo should... I thought that he should buy the bridge there. He might still do that. He is slow playing, so he can get back onto this pass tile, it looks like. He might also drop his landscape here with his final 3 workers or something. But yeah, we're definitely building A10 here. And then next round I can get A8 or something. That's not a high concern next round. Next round I'm going to start with a priest to water. And then I think that that's going to force Claybo into... Like, my next action is A10 and then I'm passing. Claybo should take another action, and then that means that I can get onto this pass tile. And then I can take a long round. I can just take as long of a round as I want, starting with a priest to water, then closing water, then digging A8, and then trying to make a town. Possibly grabbing Air 1 if it's still there. We're just going to take these points. It's not clear if we're going to get any points off of it, but... I think if Claybo wants this water cult, then what he needs to do is he needs to put himself only 1 action from closing it. But he probably just won't fight that hard for it. The worker's action, should I be able to get it, is also going to be good for me going forward, I think. He builds it up there, okay. I would take the bridge here if I were Mermaids, but he might be thinking 4 towns. He might be thinking that this is a town to the land. Oh, actually, never mind, that can't work, huh? Okay. Yeah. Our first action is priest to water here, I think. Cultists are in a position to advance digs and get this bridge. I think we want either a priest town, or I think that we're towning this round. This is 3 workers, then it's 2 workers to either get Fire 2 or make 2 TPs. 2 TPs might just be better for me. We'll figure it out. Actually, Claylo could honestly just pass here. It wouldn't be that bad. He could just Temple for Air 1, trading pose, and then pass, something like that. Fakirs have honestly run out of places to like build. Yeah, this has been a very nice, just very points greedy Fakir's game. Claybo gives up on the water cult, so that means that I have time to take another action. So I think that action should probably just be to dig a 8. This enables me to connect if I choose, which might be tricky at this point, but cultists are going to go for, looks like Air 1. Claybo still can't close this cult on me, right? He would need Fire 2 and like, there's no 2 key town, so. I think we should beat Cultists on Network this game. Claybo is continuing to go up the air track. I don't really get it. I think that this is just like a way to juice his economy a little bit. It also gets him in position to buy the bridge without burning power. I think that that might be the thinking behind that. I'm really surprised that no one has got this bridge yet. It's a fairly depressing Fire 3. Fakir's run the spade. Okay, that makes this make more sense. All right, let's just close the water cult here, and then next round, if cultists don't get this town, then we'll close that on them. But we can just close this cult now. It's one fewer thing that we had to think about. We just don't need like everything on our plate right now. Here's error 1 from Claybo, which I expected. Do we want to build a temple here? We could temple for fire too. That's kind of hilarious. It lets us start fighting this fire cult as well. Scare the crap out of cultists. I mean, cultists are probably getting this bridge. I really think that... what did cultists... Oh, okay, so... Cultists are next. I think... I really just don't know what they're going to do. Like, I think Clay wants this bridge, right? Or is he really setting up 4 towns? Like, this is a town, like, this could be a town, right? He would need 1, 2, 3... He could do it with 2 digs here, 2 digs here, and 1 dig for a landscape here or here. Like, it is mathematically possible for Claybo to 4 town right now. Is that what he's going for, though? Hard to say. Yep, there's error 1. Shakir's declined gaining power. Shakir's are probably templing for, I guess it's also error 1. Cultists make another TP. So are cultists just giving up on this town? That seems like a mistake for them. I will go for fire too and try to close this cult then. Seems kind of irresponsible not to, right? That's 8 points for me. Yeah, I'll fire too. Try to get the cult step down and then close fire on them. And then I can dig down B3 and connect on 2 ship. I guess cultists are going to go for error 1 as well. They take fire 1, which I guess they do kind of need. I think it is looking like I'm closing fire this round. Um, Cultists have just not done what they were supposed to do, and this has given me the opportunity to take the 8-point town, um, buy a priest, send it there, and then next round I can just close this guy right away, right? And we're gonna see what winds up happening. I'm gonna take workers so I can stall. I'm gonna take the priest so I can stall. Before I commit to this temple. The temple will be for Air 1 if cultists do the right thing here, but so far they haven't done the right thing very much, so... Cultists are advancing digs, so like maybe they're just playing tall, but at this point they can no longer make this. So I think it is this. We take a priest town and then we just close fire. No, sorry, we close fire with our first move next round. We're gonna take workers. Cultists are only at 1 advanced dig, right? Yeah, they are. So they're losing the fire track. Okay. And we should also be able to get their pass tile because I think that we've stalled long enough at this point. I think it's possible the priest town is just better than the 8-pointer right now. In either case, I'm just using it for 1 bump onto the fire track. I can even hold off that bump until next round, I guess. Yeah. I think that the bump is, we're going to take the priest town. It's just 1 more point. The right move for cultists to do here, in my opinion, is to bridge right now. If they bridge, that means that I have to like commit more stuff, and it's worse for me to close fire. But at this point, like obviously, they can see the writing on the wall. Like I am closing fire. They just pass. Okay, so this means that I can actually really take my time doing this. I think that it's going to be fire 2 in the 8-pointer. Fire 2, 8-pointer priest. No, I'll just close it with my step next round. Okay, so it's going to go like this. Fire 2. We'll take a priest, we'll drop it there, that'll be worth 2 coins. Then next round, they need 2 actions to finish their town, so I can just bump myself up fire happily. And we will advance our ship for our final action here. Having advanced ship lets us take B3 or A7 next round, which we want in order to connect. I guess A7 I didn't need shipping for. Yeah, we'll use our orange step to close that. And we are on the TP tile, so making a TP now is worth it's worth 3 points next round, but I don't have air 1. Okay, I don't have air 1, so I think that the correct thing to do is just pass here. Things have gone like pretty well for me, but at the same time, I think that I haven't won this game, right? Things have gone as well as they could have for me, but I still might be losing this. Like, these giant stacks of resources are pretty cool from our opponents here. Fakirs have 3 flights left in them, so that's 6, 6, 6. They have a town. They have TPs. Yeah, Claybo takes the bridge. Okay, so cultists are never closing that. So Claybo is committed to 3 towns then, instead of 4. That's good news. The bad news is that there are 3 very high value towns left. He could be getting 28 points worth of towns. Our first action is obviously closing our cult. There's just not a lot of reason not to do this, I think. There's no other power actions that we badly want, so. I don't think the priest action gets us a ton because we are winning this cult already, and yeah, we can only advance ships twice. Our power is better used as coins now, so that we can build TPs in spots that we want to. Claybo gets himself ready for a town. It is the TP round, so I guess I don't expect Claybo to be building his sanctuary here. I think that, or actually, no. Yeah, because he can dig this guy down, and then 2 TPs is enough here. I think that we might see a stronghold out of Claybo, though. He is on this tile, so we'll see how he chooses to play this. Meanwhile, yeah, this is like one of the coolest Fakir's game I can, in my recent memory. The question is this a sanctuary or is this a double dig? I think the sanctuary is probably correct. Can take air 1 with a sanctuary. Yep, there's a sanctuary. This needs to be a workers' town, I think, because they need the workers in order to build these TPs and build dwellings. It's a priest town, which I think, I don't know, maybe they mapped it out and they only need 1 worker. Then the priest town is better. And yeah, it is air 1. So I think my biggest rival here is probably Well, I can't tell between Clabo and Fakirs, to be fair. So Clabo is the pass tile. I guess I shouldn't really be losing to Fakirs here. I have more endgame points than them. Like, even if they won Network outright, which they would struggle to do, they just don't really have a good cult presence. And yeah, Clabo, if he wins Network outright and has 3 towns, then and the pass tile. Cultists have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 structures over here. I have 5 over here. So I do need to connect in order to beat Cultists on Network. So I think that just building B3 connects me. I advance my ship once, that's 6 coins. And then the rest are for 3 TPs. 3 TPs is okay, I think. Yeah, I think we'll just grab B3. I've given some thought to the Orin Stronghold or Sanctuary. So the Sanctuary it would be for Air 1. Actually, never mind. There's no Air 1, so that's garbage. Okay, yeah. I was going to say that the right thing to do was probably just to build TPs anyway, because building the Sanctuary would have made, and advancing ship, and building TPs, I'm getting fewer TPs out that way. So yeah, I think that the game plan is advance ship, build B3, TP, TP, TP. And then if we have enough stuff left, then we can build E9 and build a TP there as well. Okay. So we're going to have connection. Does look like our points are starting to run out here. I think that mermaids are going to have us here. They just have so many points left coming, and they have similar number of points at the end of the game. This pass tile, like we're passing for 4, but mermaids are passing for probably 19. Don't think that we need leech anymore, especially inefficient leech. Cultists probably are just advancing their digs and advancing their ships to finish up this game. It looks like we can only build 3 TPs, which is a big bummer. Maybe I should be taking leech, but I would need a worker's action and like a bunch more coins to do better than this. So I think actually it is just build 3 TPs and then we're done. we really stunted our economy at the end of this game. We kind of knew that that was coming. We're gonna see which towns Clavel winds up taking, but our game is pretty much done, right? We're building 3 TPs and then advancing ship one more time, I believe. I'm actually not sure if we can afford to advance ship. I think I'm one leech short. So if I get like a 2-for-1, then I'll advance ship one more time. I'm saying that because like each TP has 5 resources, right? And then the ship advances 5 resources. We've got 13, 14, 17, 19 and a half resources. So we're 1 short of being able to also advance our ship for 4 points. So we have 1 resource point left over. It could become 4 points, so we should be actually willing to take a 3-for-2. That's the life lesson that I figured out just now. I have some regrets. I think that I probably was supposed to just realize that I was trying to advance to 3 ship anyway and just build E9 and I6 instead of wasting 2 workers on digging B3. So this was actually a mistake on my part. Clavo has yet to found any of his towns. He really is trying to do this without Fire 2, which I think is actually a mistake. Because that, oh no, he doesn't have to build a sanctuary. But it means that he needs to build another temple, which he also doesn't want to do, right? Because like, if he builds, or a stronghold, I guess it's a stronghold town. Yeah. I guess he's going to stronghold here, and then dig down a thing here, and then build these 2. Okay, that's fine. It looks like Fakirs will get out to 14. It looks like 14. Clavo easily beats that, yeah. Okay. Clavo could win the air cult over Cultists. Cultists should just be... I don't know what Cultists have been up to. They made this TP. They don't have any other spots to make TPs, so they should just advance their digs and then put their last priest to air. Which means that Clavo will lose this. He'll have 4 to... Maybe he win... No, what are you doing, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing here? This... Clavo can take an 8-pointer and then beat you on air. That was bad. Whatever. I'm not in charge of their decisions. Yeah, so this is a stronghold town over here, which is pretty neat. Oh, Fakirs. Fakirs are very close to. They're a 2-for-1 away from being able to build B1. And I'm going to give them some of that leech that they need. That's interesting. That means that they're only 1 leech away after I do that. We'll see if Clabo, where Clabo decides to upgrade over here. It's kind of like an interesting small subplot. I think Clabo has 3 more TPs in him, which would be 18 points. That's 83. The stronghold will be a ship advance, so that's 3 more points, 86. 2 more dwellings, 90. Probably advance a ship manually, like, or so let's say it's 90. 3 towns are going to be 19, 26. It's 116. Let's say he manages 1 more ship advance. 120, 132, 136 after everything. Yeah, that has to be enough. Plus the 18 points on network is 154. Yeah. I think I arguably should be trying to, oh god, okay. 154, 160-ish. Like, I think that Clayball might be in like the low 160s overall. No realistic way I can compete with that. Fakirs are now only 1 power away from being able to take workers, make a TP, or, sorry, not take the workers, but make a TP and then fly. They would love to do that. That would give them 7 more points, or more than 7, right? Sorry. 9 more points, 127, plus 3, 130. Should I be more scared of Fakirs than I was? I think maybe I should be. Yeah, Clabo manages to stall just long enough so I can't get my final ship advance. So I'll just put my priest to Earth and then call it. Got it. Yeah, cultists really need to put the priest to air. So my score, we passed for 4. We have 1 resource point, so that's 5 more points, 119. We have 6 on network, 125. We have 28 on cults, 140 or 153. Yeah, so Clabo should be ahead of that. Fakirs, if they do get 9 points plus their Air 1 points, that would put them at 131. 131, they're not winning network outright, so even if they tie for network, that would only be 146. So I think we have second here, like, pretty clearly. Cultists obviously don't have quite enough stuff here. They have 103 plus, let's call this 18. So that's a 121 for cultists. I mean, they got unlucky with this, but sometimes the game just doesn't go your way. But even with like some, I guess like, so my unlucky break was that cultists push for Fire 2 so hard. If cultists don't push for the 2 key town as hard, then I'm digging H4 instead. And then I saved 3 workers, and 3 workers could have been absolutely huge, like, throughout this whole game. That's like either saving me a workers action or like all sorts of other types of things. Like 3 workers in round 3 could easily be worth like the 5 points or so of difference that the game wound up being. I believe I took a 3 for 2 at some point that maybe I didn't need, that I didn't use until like way later. But that shouldn't be the difference here. I think that there's enough separation with mermaids here. I don't understand why these players are taking so long. This really should just be a TP. They should just be making like a TP here, or like here, or wherever. Like I would obviously welcome it if they upgraded B2, but like they would be more likely to upgrade D6 or H1. But God, why is this taking like so long? Please don't tell me that this player rage quit here. Yep, there's the T. Oh, he upgrades on a spot that gives me leech. Okay. That was the wrong decision. Should have upgraded here. It's worse for your opponents in that case, but I do get my ship advance, so we're gonna be at 117, 121 before the pass. So that's an extra point for us, or 2 points for us, I think. Maybe that was like a back scratch in favor of because I decided to give him so much leech. Almost certainly not the case, but you know. Sable will need some economic towns. No, actually, he won't. He'll need economic towns if he wants to build 2 more TPs. He can stronghold and single TP fine, but if he wants more TPs beyond that, like 1 more TP, then he will need economic towns instead of just all high BP towns. This town might be enough, but if he also wants to build these 2, then it's a little tricky. So it's possible that I've overestimated his score by like 4 or 5 points, which could be close, which could make it close, admittedly. Slavo probably only needs to get to 15 network then. You'll only need to build, yeah, that makes sense. Fakirs were actually close to being able to affect Clabo there, but yeah, still no towns have come out yet. Clabo is doing some math, I think. Yeah, like stronghold with ship advance plus 2 dwellings. The stronghold requires a priest to a worker. There's no priest towns left, yeah. Might require like a worker town and like worker town and coin town should do it. So worker town, coin town, and 11 pointer would be 12, 23 points. 2 points on Earth 1, 27. 3 points on Air 1, 30. Advanced ship 33 plus 9 is 42. That's not quite enough, but we'll see how this winds up going. He does have like a little less stuff than we thought. And he does want to win network outright, I think. Yeah, that means that this final TP isn't getting built. If we've analyzed this situation correctly. So we can see our score pretty transparently now. We have 28 points here, plus 6 points on network. Yeah, Fakir is saying that they like slightly screwed up somewhere. Yep, so indeed it is the worker town and the coin town as we expected. This can be the 11 pointer. Well, actually, this should really be a ship town, right? The ship town is worth more than an 11 pointer to, or I guess it's identical. Here's going to be a priest to a worker, presumably. I don't know. This looks very close between me and mermaids. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not as close as I think, but I think Klevo will be in the 150s. He's sitting on a lot of pass points, another town, Earth 1, and he has like 30-ish endgame points. This is 2, 6. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So he has like 25 endgame points, rather. Klevo, I think, is trying to figure out whether it's worth it more to just advance ship here, or to build this dwelling. Can he do both if he takes the power town? He advances ship. Yeah, all he needs is, now he can take a 7-pointer to build the final dwelling, which is probably best. I guess it's the same between the 11-pointer and the 12-pointer, or the ship town is probably better than the ship town is probably better than the dwelling, because the ship town is worth 12 points. Takes the power town for another ship advance. Okay. Cool. So Klevo's only got 15 on network, which means that this is 6. Oh, and he gets fewer endgame points too. Yeah, okay. So I think that we did it. We needed a huge break, but at the same time, I think that we got kind of a negative break by cultists fighting for fire too, so. This is not like what you wanted to see on the board at the end of this, I think. Yeah, looks like I guess Klevo just had like slightly fewer resources than I realized at the end there, and was closer with Fakirs than realized. But I think that to be fair, like Klevo could have beaten Fakirs by more. He just had to play it this way so that he could, like, he was just trying to get closest to me without like conceding too much, like how close he was to Fakirs. Looks like we got a we got a win in our first arena game in quite some time, so that's nice. Green thumb both these opponents. Yeah. For a change, we were actually the fastest player, so that's kind of nice to see. We got a win over a very tough opponent, so that's also kind of nice. We got ourselves back over 500. Elo, that was not happening. Anyway, we definitely caught quite a lucky break from the way that Fakirs chose to attack cultists. This G2 Hex was rough, but at the same time, like, I think that Sanctuary Fire 2 was also pretty rough for us. Like, we didn't anticipate that happening, so the fact that we had to, like, Fakirs did this and gave us this out, it overall is probably worse for us than if Cultists had just taken Rush Water 1 for us. So I think that's fine. That's not, like, wound up being kind of neutral. We also wound up getting the final pass tile, which probably is not a huge deal. It was only 4 points, but it was 2 workers, which we really did need. So we got 3 coins actions, including the one in round 1. Claybo took 0 coins actions, which I think is part of why he didn't win this game. He did wind up taking that double spade. Like, he spaded C4, I believe, and I2 in the spade round, which I thought was, I wasn't convinced about that decision. So, okay, let's take a look at how else. We bought 2 priests. I think that makes sense. I think that Orin really desperately want to win those cults, so they're very likely to buy priests, especially if they stronghold instead of double templing, right? Like, you're almost always going to see a stronghold before you see a second Orin temple. So they're not going to have, like, amazing priest production, even though we open temple. We never got onto the 6 coins tile, I believe, so this number is, like, pretty low. We also didn't have any Fire 1 or TPs, but we did convert a lot. We took the coins action, and we played heavily into the cults, which was always part of the plan, which allowed us to get, like, a decent amount of coins in the end. We got a good number of workers because we pounded the air cult and the fire cults, and we wound up taking a workers action to help us dig. So yeah, that's our priests. So the scoring track, I guess, was pretty even for everyone. We managed to get 3 digs during that digging round. We only managed, so that was 6 points. We managed to get the stronghold out and at the right time, so that was 5 points for 11. We only got 3 TPs, that's 20. So I guess there were, like, a few dwellings, or 3 points here, and then 4 points for this temple. Yeah. Like, not like the richest track, but everyone managed to hit it pretty well, so that was pretty neat. We only got 4 points, 4 TPs worth of water 1. We didn't get any air 1. This is where Claybo made, like, a ton of money here. We didn't pass particularly well, but it was, like, not the richest passing game. Like, no one got into that. For 3 rounds, nobody took the ship VP tile, which is why Claybo is the only one who kind of dominated here. We also didn't build both Stronghold and Sanctuary, which I think that no one actually did. So that big building tile was a little less lucrative overall this game than for most. We took 2 good towns. One of them was a 2 key town, so that's huge. This is obviously huge, closing 3 cults. Yeah, like, this and this are a huge source of my victory points this game. We wound up advancing on the exchange track, which was, as was mentioned in chat, we kind of went a tall route, and in that case, like, that's where we needed a lot of our priests to go, so that we could basically score points like Swarmlings by advancing on our own tech tracks. I don't think I have too much else to say about this game. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for commenting. It's good to be playing Arena again. It's nice to get a win over a good opponent, even if, we needed some luck to get there. But still, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.